Hello and welcome back to this Library of Ruina series. In this video, we'll be fighting Olivier. This reception is a ton of fun and gives us arguably the best key page in the game, so let's get started. The Hand Association Section 3 Episode 2 is a 1-act 1v1 fight against Olivier. But before I go over his stats and deck, I'm going to cover the Black Silence's page exclusive to Roland. He has 106 HP, 56 stagger, is blunt injured, and has 3 passives. Speed 3, Orlando, which makes the key page unable to be swapped or replaced, similar to Bina's Bina, and the Black Silence, which draws 2 additional pages at the start of the act and gives all dice on every third combat page played plus 2 power. Overall, the passives aren't very strong considering there's really only one non-speed passive. However, Roland's deck of exclusive combat pages make Will of the City look like Charge Up. Zelkova Workshop is a 0 cost with mediocre rolls. It draws a page on use and its cost can't be changed. This is just some generic page draw, nothing too crazy. Rongo Workshop has 3 dice rolling through to 7, with the last one inflicting 2 bleed on hit. Again, the cost of this page can't be changed. This one's another fairly generic one, but works well with power stacking as a 0 cost with 3 offensive dice. Old Boys Workshop is Will of the City but better. This 1 cost restores 3 light and draws a page on use, and has better rolls than Will of the City while restoring stagger resist on hit. Alice Workshop has 2 decent Pierce dice, and on the start of a clash, reduces the power of all the target's dice by 2, making this page roll like a 7 to 11, 7 to 10, which is equal to an unpowered Fervent Emotions. Mook Workshop is Will of the City but better. This 2 cost restores 3 light and draws a page on use, and has a single strong slash die that deals a bit of bonus damage on hit. Ailith Logic is a ranged page with 2 mediocre Pierce and then a very strong blunt. With a bit of strength, this page can put in a lot of work, similar to Rongo Workshop. Speaking of strength, Durandal has 2 decent slash dice that both give 1 strength on hit. Having this page land is important, so you might want to consider free hitting with it. Crystal Ailith is the best clashing page in the game. This 3 cost has an 8 to 11 evade, then 2 7 to 11 slashes. Additionally, it has an above average slash counter die. Wheels Industry is a 4 cost with an extremely strong blunt that destroys the opponent's next die on hit, then a mediocre block. This page is similar to Lock, but works out a bit better due to the dice placement. Finally, Roland gets a page Furioso added to his special action bar. This 3 cost can only be used after all 9 of his regular combat pages have been used, with the ones that still need to be used being marked by a little sword icon. This page rolls 20 to 39 slash. Additionally, on hit, it'll inflict 5 bleed, 3 bind, and 3 fragile, and on clash win, will destroy all of the opponent's dice. Note that after using the page once, you'll need to use all 9 of your regular combat pages again to get another use from it. Now we can talk about Olivier. He has 210 HP, 125 stagger, is blunt damage and slash stagger injured, and has 5 passives. Speed 3, 4 trigrams, all for Hana, the 12 fixers, which boosts the minimum roll of all of the pages he plays by 2, and at emotion level 3 and above, also increases the maximum roll of all pages by 1, and Duel, which makes him immune to immobilize and gives Roland some HP and stagger to balance the fight, bringing him up to 226 HP and 136 stagger. His deck consists of 9 pages: Forward March, Brace Up, Confrontation, Augury Kick, Celestial Spear, Unyielding Strike, True Trigram Formation, and 2 new pages. Double-Edged Rencounter, not to be confused with Double-Edged Re-Encounter, is a 3 cost with a 7 to 10 block, 6 to 8 blunt, 5 to 8 slash. Additionally, the block and blunt have a clash 1 effect that boosts the max roll of the next die by 3. This page is fairly threatening if you let him win the first clash, so using Crystal Ailith will be your best bet. His other page is Impugnatia Ultima, which rolls 5 to 9 slash, 5 to 9 pierce, 5 to 8 blunt. Additionally, on use, it discards all pages from hand to give all the dice 2 power, and it has a slightly above average counter die. Again, this page is fairly threatening, so using Crystal Ailith will be your best bet. Other than that, you'll want to save your Wheels Industry for True Trigram Formation, Mook Workshop for Augury Kick, and Ailith Logic for either Confrontation or Unyielding Strike. Celestial Spear can sometimes be beaten with Alice Workshop or mitigated with Old Boys Workshop, and Brace Up and Forward March can be clashed into by any page. For abnormality pages, you're going to want to take 2 of Pulsation, Pill Hands, and Urging, prioritizing them in that order. Then for tier 2 pages, take Sword of Frost and Fervent Beats. You should be able to beat the reception before you die to Fervent Beats due to the crazy amount of stats that you get. After you've beaten him and can attribute passives, Snipe, Lone Fixer, and any other power boost will let you farm Olivier in 4 or so scenes, and you'll probably want to farm him at least once in order to get his key page. Olivier's page has 106 HP, 55 stagger, is blunt damage and / stagger injured, and has 4 passives. He has speed 3, 4 trigrams, and all for Hana, making him basically strictly better than Herald other than a slightly narrower speed dice roll, as well as having the 12 fixers. This passive is pretty nuts. At emotion level 0 to 2, it's basically a universal power boost, but at emotion level 3 and higher, it becomes a 1.5 times power boost. This, combined with the ability to run true dragon formation, makes Olivier an extremely strong page. We also get copies of double-edged Ren Counter, which I don't think is worth using, as although the rolls can potentially be very high, losing a clash means you're likely to keep losing and there isn't any utility. It's not terrible by any means, but I feel like it's outclassed by pages that provide consistently good rolls, even if the ceiling is lower, as well as providing utility. Impugnatia Ultima is the go-to for hand discard, as although its roll average is 0.5 lower than Final Strokes, it has 3 offensive dice and has a counter die. Of course, since it's a gold page, that just means that instead of running 2 or 3 Final Stroke, you'd be running Impugnatia Ultima and 1 or 2 Final Strokes. Like Herald, Olivier doesn't have much direction other than being able to run true Trigon formation, so you could just copy over a Herald deck, or you could try and run some sort of discard idea with Impugnatia Ultima, Brace Up, and the Hanafuda passives. In the next video, we'll be realizing the floor of philosophy. I'll see you soon, and as always, thank you for watching.